you
when
good.
people, brown people, I should say, get money, they leave. And so you can't say we should pool our money together and when you get money, you leave. And then the only people who come in are taking their money to their community. So don't say, like, if you have a problem, the black community needs to get together, everyone's just giving their money out. They're giving their money to who's here for them. And so when brown people get money, they leave as far as they can get. And then the other ethnicities who come in with their chicken spots, with their liquor stores, with their Chinese food, with their delis, they're capitalizing on all of this.
So there's two things that come to mind. One is I don't think I think that it is a valid response once you realize that, to say, well, you are not going to change, so I'm going to go do my own thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that part of that is us just not relying on this system that doesn't value us. Like, for instance, you see like Killer Mike everywhere because of his show. In like interviews, he's saying stuff like, yo, I grow my own food. Like, you can't rely on, and in the first episode of his show, he goes through 60 hours of buying only black. He even goes to a black restaurant and he can't eat still because they don't get their food from black farmers. So he's saying if that's and that's in Georgia, Athens, Georgia, if he's, if we are unable to even feed ourselves without being part of this system, then we are relying on the system. And we're never going to be able to separate ourselves from it as long as that's the case. So that's one thing. And that's why it's important that we support, each other. And next thing he goes into is like the fact that that $1 only stays within the black community for 6 hours, whereas
I heard it's 1 hour.
Yeah, it stays in for days, up to 28 days for the Asian community. And we could talk about that too. But my point is we're so reliant on other people, and our communities just spend the money out. You can't really, you don't have the power to be able to demand much of anything when that's the case at large. You know what I mean? And yeah, we got powerful people, but as a body, if your money is going out as soon as it comes in, there's not that much you're going to be able to influence others.
Come on, Sheena. I feel like you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. Go ahead.
No, the reason that is, I don't know if I'm thinking the same thing you think. The reason that is, I hope I'm not lagging, is because when people, brown people, I should say, get money, they leave. And so you can't say we should pool our money together and when you get money, you leave. And then the only people who come in are taking their money to their community. So don't say, like, if you have a problem, the black community needs to get together, everyone's just giving their money out. They're giving their money to who's here for them. And so when brown people get money, they leave as far as they can get. And then the other ethnicities who come in with their chicken spots, with their liquor stores, with their Chinese food, with their delis, they're capitalizing on all of this. So if brown people really cared about brown people, then they would
stay and invest in the community.
Right. It can't be this is all, but who are your neighbors? Like, if your neighbors aren't looking like you, or if when you're here you're not doing anything but saving up to leave, then you can't really, you can complain, but is it authentic? Are you really concerned, or are you like, oh, I can't wait till I get out of here? And I feel like a lot of people are, oh, I can't wait until I get out of here. So you can't, you can say because you have a mouth and a voice, but you need to think, do I really want this? Because like I said, with anything, whether it's Black Lives Matter, including in entertainment, or whether the Black community is important and we need to invest in ourselves, what are you willing to do? Because you can't just say everything and not be willing to. It's going to cost you. You have to lose something if it's something you really care about, or be willing to lose something if you really care about it. What were you going to say, Kendra?
No, I was just thinking to myself about like just the fact that, you know, Black people on a grand scale have so much buying power. Like we have so much buying power, which is why these other ethnicities come into our neighborhoods, you know, and set up shop because they know these are things that we like. Like we like chicken, we like Chinese food, we like to have our delis on the corner, you know, we like these things, and they see it as opportunities, whereas we're just like, well, it's convenient, you know, we don't want to have to go too far to do anything, you know, and then we go work our job, we come and we spend our money, that's it, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like because we have so much buying power, it kind of sucks to patronize businesses and entertainment venues and channels and things like that, that don't respect us, you know, because they need us. But I feel like a lot of people don't really see it that way. They're just like, you know, they don't realize that they have that power. Like you don't have to patronize a store. And then another thing is like, you know, just in general, like, you know, back to what you were saying about the people who are saving their money and they like protest and say they don't like it, but they're just saving their money until they can leave. And then those same people go into like a luxury store, or maybe they went to the luxury store before they had money, and, you know, the people that work there are like, oh, you know, following you around, you look like you don't have any money, you look like you can't shop here. And then all of a sudden they get that money, then they go back in there, and, you know, those same people who would have looked at them a certain way before they had money are now offering them like glasses of champagne, you know, do you want to sit down? Like, you know, let me walk you through the whole entire collection, whatever. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of people just don't see the fact that they have the buying power and they get to kind of dictate how these businesses move just based off of the mere fact that we patronize, and they come into our areas knowing that we're going to patronize them. So, you know, just by default, we should be like all the time demanding respect, but
I think
don't see it that way.
The answer to what we're talking about, which I've said, we've all said, but just to reiterate, you have to essentially buy Black, and that's not just Black people. I'm talking about everybody. Now think about this, right? If you have people and their money is going right out after a few hours, in other words, they don't own nearly as much as any other ethnic group in this country, right? And you want to help said people, one easy fix is to just patronize those people. That's it. Just patronize those people. And I'm not saying only patron, but I'm just saying make an effort to. Instead of, oh, let me give charity, like let me donate to some cause in the hood. Just just buy the same thing that you would normally buy, but buy it by somebody that's, you know, African American. That's.
I think the reason that doesn't happen though is because a lot of us subconsciously associate white institutions as better.
Yeah,
to support.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, like,
not everybody. He's talking about some people.
Not everybody.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
But that's why, like, if people still shop at Gucci, even though they have or whatever, you know, even though they do these different things, but it's because they equate it with, oh, this is better. This makes me look like I'm living a certain way. Even though on the reverse, it's like they might have questionable practices, you know? So yeah. That's the whole thing.
Oh, Gucci. Y'all saw that sweater, right?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hijack the convo. Continue, Sheena.
What you think about this sweater?
Sheena, finish your thought.
I feel like Black isn't enough. And so when I say that, it's not, oh, I'm gonna support everything that's Black. No, because the color of your skin doesn't dictate what kind of person you are. So I'm not gonna go to some place just because they have brown skin. So then when everyone is like, oh, you know, we need to buy Black, are they respectful to me? Like, if I go where there's respect and I don't care what the color of the person's skin is. So when everyone's like, oh yeah, we need to buy Black, we need to buy Black. No, because that's why you have BET. Well, even though it's not really Black owned or whatever.
Let's see what this new season's gonna bring. Like, I feel like they're trying to get new content. Let's give them a shot. Come on, BT. I'm rooting for you, BT. I really am.
but that brings another conversation.
Yeah, but
right. Or I feel like everything that I feel like when you say let's buy Black or let's support Black, I feel like, what are you giving me as a brown person? And I'm not saying that, so please don't let your friends be all coming after me. But I'm saying that to say, like, the music. I don't want to listen to these lyrics. This is not for me. Like, don't ask me what songs I listen to, because these lyrics are not uplifting me. What shows do you watch? I don't watch shows. I don't care. Oh, it's Black people, and he's producing and it's his show. Are you listening to the lyrics? What images are they putting out about brown people?
Right.
What ideals or what morals are they showing the world that represents people with brown skin? So no, right? It's not like, oh, I support, all I watch is Black TV. No, all I watch is television that makes me feel respected, makes me look at people differently. My point of view is not everything Black is great. No, it's everything needs to be looked at. Are you showing me respect? Do you respect people? Do you respect people in general? Women, brown people, anyone. Are you respectful? I'm not going to some place just because they have the same color skin as me, because that's just what makes me different. Like, there's no such thing as race. So when your whole focus is, I'm going to select race, that's why you have kids like going around calling themselves bad female dogs or whatever, because they drink in everything that is put out by a brown face, and you can't do that. The issue is not, oh, support everything that's Black. No, support everything that's growing you as a person. So that's why when they were like, oh yeah, we need to keep this Black dollar, we need to do this, we need to do that. No, you need to look for respect, look for goodness, and go into that. It's not just the color of someone's skin that dictates their character. But if y'all want to buy Black, that's all right.
What you saying ultimately, I understand, but you are leaving out the fact, or let's start with, there's no such thing as race. I would agree with you, except if people get together and create race, or say that there's such a thing as race, and then now there are consequences of that, you still have to deal with those consequences. You can't ignore it. So if the consequence is that people who are told that they are Black only have their dollar in their community for 6 hours, you can't say, well, since there's no such thing as race, we can't take steps to address that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. But two, I definitely agree with what you're saying as far as, it's connected to the other video where you're talking about principles. You want those people to have the same principles as you, and that ultimately is the most important thing. I would buy with people that have the same principles as me above everything. If somebody is selling righteousness, let's say, I'm going to go with who's selling righteousness if everybody else is selling unrighteousness. You know what I mean? But that being said, that if that's equal, like let's say for instance, supermarket, and you have Trader Joe's as one option, and then you have Black owned supermarket as a next option. The Black owned supermarket is just selling you garbage, then yeah, you're gonna go to Trader Joe's. But if they're both selling you something of value, then you can make a conscious effort to support your community, your local community for one. I think buying local is important. So your local community, as well as other people who are going to, for instance, employ those who are Black or brown, or have been told that they're Black or brown, if you want to look at it as a race don't exist kind of thing, and who are gonna hopefully treat you different. Like for instance, you go to the dudes with the Starbucks situation, you're not gonna go to a Black owned coffee shop and they call the cops on you because you sitting there and you Black. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, how do you address that? Well, go to the Black owned coffee shop if you have the option. That's it. You killing a lot of birds with one stone. I don't care if you don't agree. Nah, but